Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Your Average Critics, a weekly podcast dedicated to film, TV and pop culture. This week's focus is going to be on TV, but I'm sat here with Ollie, Chris, Joe and Obi, and very happy birthday to you, Ollie, 23.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
What did you do for it?
Went to Berlin.
Berlin, sehr gut, how was it?
It was very good, thank you.
What'd you do? Drink a load of beer?
Not so much beer, but had some
Schnapps?
schnapps. Saw the wall.
Yeah?
A lot of history. Anyway.
It's one of my favourite cities. So, TV. Ollie, as it's your birthday, you can start. What is your favourite TV show, TV genre?
Ooh! TV show goes back to Scrubs.
Oh.
Ooh. Shame it's not on TV anymore though. Don't know what happened. It kind of died
They
off.
cancelled it.
What about season? What about last season, mate? You like that?
No. It was
That was
just
when they
once
introduced
it's
a lot
done.
of
That was basically a spin-off. That was
A forgettable season.
Yeah,
shall we
really
say?
forgettable.
Yeah.
They should have ended it season 8. That would have been the perfect. And I maintain to this day that the season 8 finale of Scrubs is the best finale I've ever watched of any TV show.
that
ever.
was wicked.
Okay,
It was perfect.
And we have to say now that for all the TV shows we'll be discussing, I guarantee you there's going to be spoilers, so we're not going to keep saying spoiler every time.
Yeah.
Just spoilers, okay, across the board, every podcast, films, TV, whatever, life, spoilers. So, Obi, describe to me...
Why is it the best?
Well, okay, so basically, Ollie will back me up on this. So JD,
It's so emotional.
throughout the
It's
whole
so
8 seasons of Scrubs, JD's basically trying to figure out who he is as a person.
Which one's JD? The white
The
one?
main character.
The white one,
yeah, the white
right. Wow, that's a bit redacted.
And he spent 8 years. He spent 8 years trying to get his so-called mentor, Dr. Cox, Dr. Cox to like him and like so they'd be like friends and everything. And so there's a scene right at the end where
Ollie cries.
he like no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that scene.
No.
He like hides behind a like a curtain whilst an intern is talking to Dr. Cox, and she's like, I don't know why everyone's making such a big deal out of JD leaving. He wasn't a great doctor. He was alright. And then Dr. Cox like goes on a mad one and basically says like he's the finest person I've ever known. He's not only a great doctor. He was a great friend. And then JD like comes behind him and like he's like, that was all I needed, and he just gives like a massive hug. He's like, So that was the great.
What about
part.
the corridor bit?
This is the film.
Yeah, that's the best.
The end scene is where he goes through a corridor and he sees pretty much everyone or all the meaningful people who have come to him like as patients or friends or whatever in like the last 8 years. Like so many people, so many flashbacks, and obviously if you've watched Scrubs continually through the 8 seasons, then it's good for you to see. Oh, I remember that person. I remember that person. I remember that person. So then he gets to the outside when he's about to leave the hospital for the last time, and there's like a curtain in front of him that it said it was a goodbye sign for him, but obviously they were taking it down. And this bit is fictional, but basically it plays on like a projection. It plays a film of what
Plays memories.
of what his life or what he hoped his life to be. Basically, him and Elliot, one of the other characters in the show, him and Elliot getting married, them having a baby, his friend Turk, his son, his daughter, and JD's son, those two getting married and then being all happy and everything. Shows them all hanging out at Christmas, Dr. Cox coming in and everything like that. And it's really, really like it gets you like in the
Proper emotional
on the heartstrings.
yeah, proper because literally he's basically like watching all his dreams come true, pretty much. And it's not real, but like at the end he says like, and who's not to say that this won't be my future sort of thing. And then gets in the car and drives away for what should have been the last time, but then he fucking ruined it and came back in season 9 to be a fucking.
Did him and Elliot have a kid in the end together? Because I know he had a kid with someone else, didn't he?
In season 9, yeah, they said she was pregnant. Yeah.
So, why do you think that they, the show ends that perfectly, and that is rare. Like in my opinion, I've many shows through completion and they're crap.
ended so badly.
Why? What do you think the rationale is for these TV execs?
Money.
But then does it? So having watched season 9, does that sort of cloud your opinion, Ollie and Obi?
When I'm thinking about Scotland, I disregard season 9.
Okay, so it hasn't.
Yeah, I haven't actually gone near it,
No.
so
For
I
me,
haven't watched
season
it.
nine
It's
is
ended
spin-off.
at season 8.
I wouldn't disregard it personally because I think it's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. But there are good points to it. Like I think Dave Franco's not that bad in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's probably the bright spot.
Yeah, I think that's the only positive you can probably take from it. But
the problem is when something ends so perfectly, like, why would you bother to? I obviously understand.
Maybe
like,
they
money and stuff like that.
maybe they didn't necessarily think it ended perfectly. Maybe because we think it did doesn't mean the producers think it did, or maybe it is just money. I don't know. I mean,
Some things are best left alone,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Even films when they're being remade,
We-
and
you've
they're
got it-
normally really
you've
crap.
got it with loads of things though. Like 24 ended fine. Like he disappeared. I mean, I'm not knocking the new series or anything, but they could have
I
stopped.
think that debuts this weekend.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the new one. But what I'm talking about is
Redemption.
Live Another Day. Or,
Live Another Day, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Like they could have cut off 24 there. It would have been fine. Would have been
That had that joke scene there where he went on a mad one and killed
Yeah.
like 12 people in about 30
like, the
seconds.
most unrealistic
Yeah, that
bit.
was sick.
Literally, this guy, he's like cornered by like so many people behind like a pillar.
Wait,
on the
don't
boat.
understand it, Chris. This guy is Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer, so this absolute machine of a man is like behind the wall. He knows he's screwed, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
Because he found out that
I think he died.
Is it Renee or someone?
Someone died.
Audrey
died. Yeah.
And he loved her, and he was like, "Fuck this! I'm going on a suicide mission." And he literally just lit up everyone in that whole.
killed them all.
I think it was a boat.
Yeah, it was a
Killed
boat, yeah.
Everyone. It was hilarious.
It was
Fucking hell.
But like,
Psychopath.
it's stuff like that. Like you could have cut it off, but then they did that all right because they brought it back and it was fine. Like I watched it. It was happy days, and now they're essentially doing a spin-off, but it is the same kind of thing again, aren't they? But with a new main character.
I think spin-offs are all right because at least with I guess Jack Bauer or JD, if that's the guy from Scrubs. Their stories come to an end to a point, and then it's like, okay, well now you can stay within that universe.
Yeah.
Spin-offs are never as good as the originals.
Ooh!
Oh, we've got a contentious
Breakout
point.
Kings, mate.
What's that spin-off of?
Prison Break.
I've never seen
But
Prison
that's coming back as well, though.
I've never seen Prison
But
Break.
he really liked
But
Breakout
Kings
Kings.
was really good, but I've never seen Prison Break. So
Prison Break
fair
is
enough.
another one that's just stopped after like 2 seasons and they carried on to 4, but...
No, yeah. But I mean, I understand, like, some people want to stay within the cinematic or the TV universe, right? And to a point, it's nice to stay within that, but obviously spin-offs are never that good.
No.
I want to ask you guys the question, what series has maybe not ended the worst?
Ended the worst.
Yeah, and please, if any of you are going to mention Sopranos, please don't, because I haven't finished watching it
Alright,
yet.
I've
never watched it,
got 2. One
Okay.
I've watched, one I haven't watched.
Okay.
So I think Lost.
Yep.
I've
I was
ended-
definitely going to say
I
I'm
that.
ending to
I've
Lost.
heard
I haven't
of
watched it,
I haven't
but I
watched
started watching it, and then someone was like, "Oh, I'm going to tell you the end," and I was like, "No, please don't." No, like I've got to. And it's basically, is it all a dream?
So
the whole,
they
like-
die on the plane.
They
in
died
the
on
first episode
in the
or
first
something, don't
episode, and the whole thing is a dream.
God.
So
How
it's
infuriating is
lamest
that?
way to
Yeah.
end anything.
Spoilers.
But we know, we said that already.
Okay,
yeah.
said that.
I'm just making sure. I'm making sure.
Alright.
It's too late now. You said it after I said it.
True.
But this is another spoiler. Dexter, love the series. A bit gruesome. You probably wouldn't like it.
I couldn't get into Dexter all the way
Right,
through.
it took me a while, but I got into it. But the ending is so. You close your ears if you're gonna watch it, because I'm gonna tell you the ending. Basically, his sister, like, I can't remember if she found out season before, but she finds out he's like a mass murderer, but he's a murderer killing other
Right.
bad guys. And then she like becomes paralysed. I can't remember how, it was ages ago I watched it. He takes her on a boat with him. There's a massive storm. The woman he loves has taken his child to Argentina.
Yeah.
Then it cuts out and they're like, oh, he must have died in the boat crash. At the end of the thing, you see him as a lumberjack.
Fair enough.
Is that how it ends?
That's it.
I'm pretty
we-
glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Finish that. I'm
Did,
pretty glad I
um,
didn't finish that.
Sorry to interrupt. Are we including TV shows that got cancelled as well? Or
Well, that's my
Ooh.
point. My point, because I
What
want
are
to come
you
back
talking
to
about?
your...
something about Breakout Kings.
Oh,
got
that was
cancelled.
infuriating.
And that was the worst. It was ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm going to come back to your point a little bit later about TV shows going
Yeah.
on too long, because they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was going to mention Heroes, and I know that Heroes has kind of come back in some capacity, which I never watched. But Heroes was so good.
Yeah.
And then, I can't
It
remember, I
was.
think
The
they did it in chapters, didn't they? And then I
Yeah.
think Series 5 was beginning of chapter 5. So the last
Oh.
episode of
Oh, right,
The
yeah, so they
series
didn't
was-
actually, yeah.
like a new dawn or
Dawn,
something,
yeah.
and it had like Hayden Panettiere,
Yeah.
what's her name?
She
Claire.
jumped
Claire,
off the
yeah.
thing
Yeah.
and showed
And
the
I
whole
was like, oh, I
world.
can't wait
Yeah.
for the next one. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh no, cancel it, it's too expensive to. I was like, what? I was like,
Yeah.
please, you need to follow it up with either a film or just something, because I have
Wasn't
no...
there going to be something in the works for that though?
They've got Heroes Reborn, which is...
Oh,
mm,
yeah,
not
but that's
well.
a reboot though, isn't it?
No, it's a continuation from the
Oh, it
story.
is?
Yeah.
But is it a
Okay.
direct
It
continuation
is
from
direct
that point?
Not from... well, the whole world does know... Spoiler, the whole world does know about the mutants or whatever you want
Okay.
to call them. But she's dead in it. So they've killed her off.
But she can't die, isn't that the point of her?
Unless she
But-
gets her head chopped off.
And something to do with her childbirth killed her. Because she was
Ah.
immune, she didn't have a power when she was given childbirth and she died or something. I can't remember the exact thing, but
See, I was
it's alright. It's not, everyone is proper slating it. It is alright. But whether it's worth, well, I haven't watched all of it actually, so that just maybe says it all really right there. But whether it's worth watching it and ruining the whole amazing status of that heroes. I don't
Well,
know.
it was good until the third-ish
I
series.
don't know. I thought it was alright. I mean, I know what you mean. The first two were the best two,
Completely.
and then they picked it back up in season 4, I think.
A little
but-
bit, not really.
Yeah,
But the best character was Hiro Nakamura.
Hiro Nakamura. No, I loved
He was
Sylar.
so- You like Silent? To
He
be
was
fair,
amazing.
he was a good character. To be fair,
That
really
was
good.
such a good show,
Really good
and that
villain.
was sort of. Well, how old were we? Like 14 or something when that came out.
Yeah, it was out a while ago.
I need to rewatch it because I love that, and obviously, like most TV shows, they kind of loses steam a bit, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And that's what I wanted to come back to you
The-
about Dexter.
Yeah.
he did lose a lot of steam.
So a lot of these shows, and we're talking about not Sopranos, Scrubs series 9, kind of ruining what they ended with
Yeah.
series 8. They just, they just keep going, and
2.5 Men.
and
Went
Yeah.
on for 3 seasons too long.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But also with Lost, they just corner themselves. So they all these outlandish plots, and it's like, oh yeah, so then he time travels and then he does this and then it's like, oh shit, we've got to end this thing. Like, how are we going to end it? You
No,
know?
exactly.
And it all seems rushed by the end.
Yeah.
and then they
and-
do some stupid ending like that. I mean,
Outrageous.
Yeah, I think Supernatural is guilty of this as well.
oh, don't know, mate.
The
I
fact
like
that but originally they set out, okay, we're going to do four
seasons, I think,
series,
yeah.
and then we're going to end it. And it was like, okay, you've got a whole structure there. This is how it's going to begin, middle, end, definite ending. And it was, they've extended it, so you never know what that ending was going to be. I think it was Dean ending up in hell, but
No, it did. That happened.
oh.
It did, and
Oh, so they
they
did.
continued. From
And then
that.
they're like, "Ooh, this is
Yeah.
popular. This is making us money.
can't
So
remember
let's
if-
just do another 14 fucking seasons
No,
of it."
well, it's on season 11.
Yeah.
It dropped. It
So
did.
it's on 7 series over what they originally
True,
planned.
true. But they were going to cancel it at 10 again, and then they brought it back because it was popular. It was like that's the reason why they brought it back before, because it was popular, wasn't it?
Yeah, but some things are so quite perfect in their containment.
Yeah.
Like you said, Scrubs, it ended in series 8, and you were really happy with that. And then they're like series 9, it was shit.
Oh, I wasn't happy that ended. No, I was destroyed.
No, but I mean, obviously, it's bittersweet because you don't want one of your favourite shows to end.
Yeah.
But then if it ends so well,
Yeah.
then you sort of think, oh, okay, I'm happy that, I can go back and rewatch this whole
Yeah.
thing and I'm satisfied with the ending.
One of the best examples of that is Friends. I think that ended perfectly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
With the door shut and then
Exactly.
it's left.
But everyone gets really excited about a reunion. Like,
They
are
do.
Are they going
They
to come
do. It's
back?
the hype, but it's
They
never
do.
going to happen.
They do. But if there is a reunion,
It's gonna suck.
Then it will, because
Yeah,
they
it
will
would.
try so hard to recreate
What they,
That chemistry that they had, yeah.
which over the last 10, 12 years they've evidently lost.
Yeah.
So you might as well just keep it the way it is because you'll ruin it.
Will Friends ever not be on TV? Will it ever not be
No,
funny?
I don't think it will.
As long as there's a Comedy Central and an E4, there will always be
Yeah,
Friends.
I think it's... I don't want to say it's the perfect sitcom, but it's the almost...
What's his Friends?
Friends. Yeah.
I would say
It's-
I would say it's the blueprint for any
Yeah.
for any
Yeah.
production company that
So-
wants to do a sitcom now. That's the blueprint.
Is it easier, maybe, for sitcoms to end well? Because they're not necessarily... They're more realistic, they're more grounded in realism, right? So you've got things like Lost, which is obviously sci-fi, horror, fantasy, mystery.
Yeah.
With a comedy, is it
I
maybe easier for
I
them
think
to...
it's easier to end it point blank, but Obi brought it up with 2.5 Men. They, as soon as Charlie Sheen left that show, they should have ended it. But they carried on with Ashton Kutcher, and it just wasn't the same.
No.
It was really shit.
Yeah.
So
They do want to seeing that they're reliant on Charlie Sheen. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I think-
what
I think that's
what
why,
I think they
I
carried
think
it
I
on
agree.
for. 'Cause
That's
they were
the
like,
reason.
What was the reason that they were like, oh, by the way, he's not coming back anymore?
he died.
he died.
That was the reason they gave.
What was his stalker's name?
Rose.
Rose pushed him in front of a train, and he
But
died.
He didn't actually die. He actually.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no. The finale. Have you seen the finale?
I stopped watching it.
So yeah, the finale episode basically.
Spoiler.
Alan, who is Charlie's brother in the show.
Yeah.
Basically, he's getting all these signs that his brother's still around. Blah 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 blah. And I think he gets a letter basically from supposedly Charlie
Right.
saying like threatening to kill him basically because he abandoned him or XYZ. I don't know, something like that.
Oh, right, okay.
So the whole episode focuses on them going to the police saying, "Oh, my brothers are still alive. He's after me." Yada 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 yada. Which makes you think, oh, maybe Charlie Sheen's going to appear in the last episode.
Yeah.
In the end, they figure out they go to the mum to Evelyn to ask her about it, and she's like, just calm down, da 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 da. So then they calm down. They're like, oh yeah, we're worried about nothing.
Right.
So then it cuts to outside the door of the house that they're in, and it's a Charlie Sheen lookalike. It's obviously not Charlie Sheen walking towards the door, about to open it, and a piano falls on him and kills him. Worst ending ever to a season finale.
They could have just CGI'd him in, no?
Literally.
Yeah.
Keep him going.
Piano
It's
fell
like
on
his
him
contract's
and
done,
killed
but we
him.
just CGI
That's
him.
how it ended.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah,
Then.
it was
That's
really
pretty
bad.
bad.
Piano fell on it.
Yeah, it was rough. The piano was there for a reason, but I can't remember what reason it was. But
Well,
Did
they had
you-
a
did you
piano
see
in
it
the
coming?
house, so
Yeah.
maybe they were.
Would you have
opening
seen that
credits.
ending coming because you knew that piano was there?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
So sitcoms, a couple of examples where they've ended well.
Yeah.
Any sort of crime or fantasy or sci-fi shows that have ended well. I mean, I'm thinking here
Well,
we might debate Breaking Bad. I assume we've all seen it to completion.
It did not end well. I'm putting that out there right now.
it did not end the best.
I did not
it
like
could-
that ending at all.
I mean, I think it was a
personally.
bad ending, but like there was so much left open to the like. That's the whole point, though. That's why sometimes they do it, don't they? They leave it open just in case they can make another series,
Yeah.
or gives the fans their
Gives people
time to
time.
make their fan fiction or make
Yeah.
ideas up,
And they can debate.
and they can
Was
debate. it.
that he was actually Malcolm in the Middle. He was the dad.
Yeah, that was so good.
I've
That
seen
was
that,
it.
yeah.
That was well good. But like,
And then who's Jesse? Who plays Jesse?
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul. And then he goes off to
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
the thing is though, that it was just such a mental ending. Like
It
he
was.
had a machine gun in the back of his car that
Yeah.
automatically turned on. Like I know he was a genius, but that's a whole nother level of like he was a science genius, not like.
But that's
Mechanical,
is that an example then of a show that just went too far and got too outlandish? And then
I don't
it's
think
like,
he did get too outlandish.
It didn't.
I thought it was right on the brink of the possibility of the world that he had created for himself. But literally, I just thought, for me personally, when I watched that ending, I was like, everything's falling into place too well. Whereas when I'm watching a sitcom, because it's all comedy based and it's like a 20-minute thing and everything's like there's one arc in one TV show, that's the end of the arc, moves on throughout the episodes. So when things fall into place and just end, that's what I expect from a sitcom. Whereas a TV show like Breaking Bad, where obviously there's mini arcs in each episode, but there's an overarching arc throughout the seasons. I just thought that it ended way too predictably. Like everything kind of just like fell into place really well, and everyone kind of ended up where they wanted to be. Obviously, apart from Walter White.
Well, you don't know.
Well, it's a thing we don't
So,
know. So I
do you
I
think
didn't
he
like it.
dies?
No. I don't think he dies, but I just wanted to be. I watched that episode, and I wasn't surprised or shocked or anything like that.
How would you have wanted it to end?
That's the thing I don't know.
The thing is, was he gonna? You know, because he got shot and he'd been cured of cancer, didn't he? And he got shot, but didn't he get diagnosed with cancer again before
it
he
came
got
back.
shot?
It came back.
So surely, if he didn't die of the shot, he would eventually, as we'd assume, he'd die of cancer.
Probably, but you never know.
I feel like it ended in the way it kind of only really could have ended.
That's what I mean. That's kind of what I mean.
And that's
Oh,
that's
I
what
dunno.
you,
I wanted them to shock me. I wanted some shock value. Like, you
Yeah.
know in the episode, I think it was season 3, right, where Jesse's about to get fucked up by some drug dealers, and Walter White comes steaming in the car, bang, bang, shoots it up, mate. I wanted something like that, because that was probably one of the best endings to a TV show I've ever seen. Like, I wanted something like that to shock and surprise me.
Yeah.
But it just didn't.
You could have had an ending where a policeman just shot Walter White. That could have been the ending, and it would have been a definitive ending. That he
I'm not
was
sure I
dead.
wanted Walter White to die, though.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the thing, because he was like the anti-hero.
Yeah, I
you
know,
had
I know.
sort of
You wanted
empathy
him
for
to become the king.
He was the one who knocked.
Yeah.
I would have been quite happy if he'd have, when he was in that log cabin in like Alaska or something.
Yeah.
If he'd just like stayed there and sort of lived out his life,
But would you not have been annoyed because that was not his character to just sit down and just take it all? Because it was his character before he became the drug lord, but then once he was the drug lord, he was not that guy who'd settle for anything. Because he was going on trains, taking the bloody oil out of trains or whatever they needed to make it.
Well, I think with Walter White, he was kind of like two people in one. So he had the really calm teacher and then the drug lord, Heisenberg. So I think either way, they could have ended it with Heisenberg or Walter White. They decided to go with the ending of Heisenberg.
Can I ask you guys a question? Okay. Am I the only one who thinks that what's Walter White's what's his wife's name? Skylar.
Oh, they're annoying. Bitch. Yeah.
Wait, does no one think that she is? Let me explain. She is a tad unreasonable because imagine, like, you're in a loving relationship with your wives.
Yeah.
And after about 15, 16 years, you're not doing great in life, like financially, and then you just find out, like, hey Glenn, do you know what? I've been a meth dealer for about a year now, and I've got about $2 million saved up in a loft. If you want to go and get it, I'll be like, yeah, come on, then. I love you even more. She is the most.
I agree with you, but I disagree with you at the same time because I agree with you because. Yeah, she was unreasonable many times in that series, and she infuriated me. And you just thought, someone get rid of her off this series. Yeah. But at the same time, she did. What's the word where you feed the money? She laundered the money for him, and she worked at that place for him, and she did all that stuff. For him.
She had so much contempt for him.
I know.
I didn't like him because he was doing it, so he could provide. Obviously,
but he was being a bit stupid though, wasn't he?
He's a criminal, and he was doing bad things. I get that, but
he was doing it for a greater good, wasn't he?
As his wife, she should have been able to see what he was doing it for. Yeah. Obviously, at a point, he probably did get greedy because
he had that stack of money and the guy laying it. Yeah, that was quite funny.
If it's I'm gonna make an assumption that if in 25 years I find out my wife's been a drug dealer and she's been hoarding money for the past 20 years, I'll be like, spud me. Let's take his money.
Let's go to Hawaii.
Let's launder the fuck out of it.
Would you not be annoyed with her that she hadn't told you for 20 years that she'd been laundering money?
I'd be like, no, because I probably would have blown the whole operation. I probably would have fucked everything up. So good on you for managing to keep it quiet.
She goes along with it though, so I don't.
She goes along with it, but
she has so much
the way that she does it.
But going back to what you said, you say that he's got Heisenberg, but he's also this like innocent teacher. Yeah. So who's she supposed to fall in love with? Because
it's true. She's in love with the
teacher. She grew up with this guy.
She's full of
both. He's turned into this kingpin drug dealer.
It's true. Part. And that includes crime.
In sickness and in health.
Exactly.
Well, or she could have cashed in all the merchandise, like Los Pollos and Manos, you're getting River Island, like Primark, Heisenberg t-shirt. So we were talking earlier about spin-offs of TV shows. Because see it in your eye, Chris, you were definitely going to mention this. Yeah. I've personally only ever seen a few episodes of Better Call Saul. I think, Chris, you've watched a few of them.
I've watched season
How
1.
is it, in terms of, as a TV show, A, how good is it? And B, when you're watching it, do you always think, is this as good as Breaking Bad?
Yeah. I don't ever compare it to Breaking Bad because it's so different. It's the he's a crap lawyer. Well, he's not a bad lawyer, but he's just a lawyer who's never getting anything. Lawyer. Well, he's not in the first series, and I'm not sure about in the second series. He's a normal lawyer, and he does everything by the book, and he's always getting shot down by the bigger law firms, and I think even his mate fucks him up as well, like fucks him over even, not fucks him up. And it's like, it has no relevance to Breaking Bad until he meets, who's the old bloke? Mike.
Yeah.
But still then, has no relevance because Mike just essentially just hints that he does other stuff. But I haven't seen season 2, and apparently season 2 integrates a bit more with Breaking Bad.
Yeah, as well. You know them late nights on YouTube when you're just flicking through videos? I saw a video of The Ellen Show with Aaron Paul on it, and he hinted that he might be in
I know that the guy who plays Gus Fring appears in season 2 of Better Call Saul.
Because that's why I want to watch it, because I want to see.
Is it going to be very, very brief?
No, because I think he is, because is it Gus that shows Walter to the lawyer?
No, I don't think
Or is it lawyer that shows Walter White to Gus?
That's the way around.
That's the way around, so that's how it's going to link, I think. So I think he's going to be friends with Gus, and then Walter White, because the whole idea was that they were going to eventually get Aaron Paul and
Bryan Cranston.
I think they were always going to get them two in.
would that kind of be a bit like?
Well, it is technically a prequel spin-off that's meant to sidequel, then eventually take over, you assume, because he's always alive, isn't he? He was there before, he was there during, and he's not dead, so he's going to be there after. So
yeah,
It's true.
Obi and I were talking about this, so we kind of wanted to see a bit more of Gus, just because we feel that he had a
Yeah,
He
he's quite.
had
I
a
think
good
he's quite a
story.
good character.
but to know more of his backstory.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
would
because
have
they
been much more
did his
interesting.
backstory
They
in
did
like one episode,
They
didn't
did
they?
a
They
brief
just,
backstory of
Like-
his, yeah.
the way he died was.
Oh, that was
brilliant.
That was
That
a
was
shit moment. Like
That
we've,
was good.
We've talked a few times
That was good.
about oh shit moments in TV shows, and that
Yeah.
was
That
one
was
of
oh
the.
Well, it's just the fact that he just walked out of
Did
the.
up his
Yeah.
tie.
So you think, right, this guy's a bad
Indestructible.
man and can survive an explosion, and
Yeah.
you see the other side of the.
Then he looks like Harvey fucking Two-Face, doesn't he?
Harvey too.
Yeah, no.
So
Character.
Better Call Saul is a Netflix show,
Yeah,
right?
Netflix
Is
show,
it
yeah.
Netflix original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
And Breaking Bad
Yeah, I think-
wasn't. That was
No.
But-
AMC.
but they always had it on
Netflix.
Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys, the advent of Netflix, and the fact that it's kind of gone into production of film and TV, where you can, for a lot of their shows, just binge watch the entire series.
Yes.
Does that enhance TV for you, or does it sort of ruin it in the sense that you're not waiting a week and the anticipation?
Who wants to go first?
Go on.
I think, this is me personally, as an individual viewer, it's a better model because you can just watch as much as you want, watch as little as you want.
Yeah.
However, for shows that provoke group discussion, it's not as good because when you've got a show like Game of Thrones, for example, one a week, you have watched that one episode and then all you
Speculate.
everyone can gather around and chat about the last episode. But obviously, if I'm watching, let's say Daredevil, for example, and I'm talking to Chris about it, and Chris has already watched 10 episodes and I've only watched 4. Do you know what I mean?
We did that though. It was really hard, wasn't it? It was really hard.
We can't really have
Yeah.
the same sort of discussion because Chris knows. I can say, "Oh, I think this might happen," and Chris would be like,
It
but
kind
then-
of ruins it for,
yeah.
for the person that hasn't watched
Okay,
enough.
so say a show that you really like comes out, I don't know, Daredevil, Series 3, and you watch all of it in a weekend, you've got to wait 51 weeks
Yeah.
for that next series to come out.
"We have to be able to
True.
control yourself."
But you say that, yeah. But for all of us who work 5 days a week, some people probably. Well, you work sometimes 6, 7.
Yeah.
Like to binge watch something is ideal because instead of waiting, because you might not have that time on that Wednesday, but you might have all the time in the world on a Saturday. Binge watch it, you're done. You're gonna be ahead, you're gonna be with everyone, or when you see everyone again, you'll be with everyone.
And sometimes binge watching, like you're just in bed, can't bother to get up, and it just keeps
there.
playing.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
sometimes it's just
But
the
then
best
would
thing
you
to do.
rather that, so say they are released weekly, and then, but because it's Netflix, they're all the episodes accumulate, right? So say you miss the first 4 episodes of Daredevil, you can binge watch those 4 episodes, but then you have to wait until the next Wednesday
Yeah,
or
true.
Thursday
But you
to...
could
Well,
do-
some Netflix originals do that.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
some of them do.
Like Sense8 is doing a weekly
Yeah.
one now.
I think
Shadowhunters do as well.
Yeah.
Shadowhunters, yeah.
I think that's where they're going to go.
Yeah,
I think that's where Netflix.
because I maybe I'm kind of traditional in that sense, but to be fair, I don't know when the last time I watched a show on terrestrial TV.
Watch it. We watch Flash and Arrow on TV and Legends of Tomorrow,
Okay.
and we watch. What's the other one? The zombie one, iZombie.
iZombie, yeah.
Is that 5? Is that 5 there? Did I say 5?
Yeah, that's fine.
5. So that's the 5 we watched on
That's
a
4
week.
actually. Sorry.
4. Who's the
Supergirl.
Supergirl? That's the 5 we watch weekly. I mean, I'm a bit behind on Supergirl, but that's the 5 that we actually watch on TV weekly.
Yeah.
And you watched the 100 as well, which I should catch up with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
But-
100.
So yeah, because I think one of the, and we're going to talk a lot about Game of Thrones later, don't you worry. I think one of the problems with all the episodes coming out at once is spoilers. You
Yeah.
know, if the next series of Game of Thrones came out like tomorrow, I can guarantee some person would watch it through its entirety. At 5 a.m. in the morning, you'd have hundreds of articles.
Dumbledore dies.
Like,
Did it? Oh my god, King Joffrey's dead! You're a bastard. I used to hate stuff like that.
I mean, there's enough spoilers when they come out weekly in this one.
What about when it was weekly? Obviously, Game of Thrones is weekly, and then someone managed to get hold of the first 4 episodes before they got released.
And I binged them.
I did as well.
I feel like
I did as well.
This is
Yeah.
the thing. So yeah, you're probably right with it being bad. Because then we had to wait 3 weeks for the next
But
one.
then you got the arseholes, yeah, who watch it online. Like, don't mind watching online. Like everyone does it. But you got the arseholes who watch it straight away as soon as it comes out in America. Then post about it on Facebook.
At least
and
wait.
you're like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you still like block everything after Game of Thrones has come out.
I feel like
you've got to be
everyone should at least wait 24 hours after the show has aired.
Yeah, because then it's your own fault for not watching
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we agree there should be like a 24-hour period of, you know,
People should just
media
get
blackout
away from
before
social
there's
media.
a
In all honesty, though, I feel like if you are watching an avid watcher of Game of Thrones or a show like that, and it's aired, and then you go on social media, you're an idiot.
But
You're an idiot.
what I don't get is, what is the necessity to be like, I've watched that. That is amazing. Hold on. I'm going to tell the world it's amazing, and I'm going to give a spoiler. What's the necessity to be like, oh my god, that was such a sick ending.
Yeah.
Did you see when that dragon did that to them?
People are trying to provoke discussion.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a binge watcher of TV on Netflix. Like as soon as Daredevil comes out, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, like the Marvel ones, I'm all over that, and I will watch all of them as quickly as possible. But then a part of me like finishes it, and I'm like, oh, now I've got to wait ages.
Then you can move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
You got
true.
more time to watch
But
other stuff.
to be fair, you talk about this, we got Iron Fist coming out soon, The Defenders, then you got
Yeah.
season 3 of Daredevil,
True.
you got Punisher, season 2 of Jessica Jones. That's a few series right there. You got Orange is New Black, new series coming out on it. House of Cards, which will soon be coming out on it.
I struggle to watch multiple series at the same time because I sort
This is
of
where you're failing, mate. Me and Chris,
we got it, mate, we got it,
Chris
we got it.
about 15 shows a week.
I'm going to give my list and it's fucking endless. Jesus. I've got to catch up with Gotham as well.
you must be like, oh my god, I can't believe
It's
JD
good
was in
Gotham.
this.
It's so good now.
Gotham is actually quite good.
Yeah.
What are they on now? Season 3?
Yeah.
See, I haven't watched any of season 3.
No,
but
neither have I, but I've watched episode 1.
have you seen the trailer of the new episode they're bringing
Yeah,
out?
like Joker-esque, isn't
The
it? Yeah.
Jerome.
Yeah.
I started watching
That's
Gotham, I
annoying.
couldn't really get into it.
I watched
Apparently,
like one episode.
apparently Agents of Shield's got quite good as well,
Oh my
actually,
God, that
and
started terribly.
they've left plot holes in it in line with
Films.
the films, the Infinity
Avengers.
War.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and they've brought in Ghost Rider as well. Into
really?
I heard
Agents
about
of
that.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So,
Are they gonna? Do you reckon they're gonna cross over with the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Or
well, I think they
They-
already
they
have.
have
They've
done
made
quite a
plot
few
holes to go in with it, and also the whole idea of Agents of Shield is the Inhumans.
Okay.
That they're among us, and there was meant to be an Inhumans film, but they stopped that, which I'm kind of happy about because the Inhumans seem a bit, what's the word, OP? Is that overpowered?
Yeah, overpowered.
Because one of them apparently, if he talks, he can like break the Hulk's arm. So
And is anyone going to watch Powerless?
yeah,
What's that?
yeah, is that the one with Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah. Go on, because you want to explain what the
Well,
show's...
I can't remember. Is it DC or Marvel? I think it's DC.
DC.
And basically, these people clean up the streets after the attacks or the savings from the DC people.
Okay.
And that's
I think
pretty much it.
it's like it follows a company of people who work for Bruce Wayne's cousin.
Oh yeah,
Bruce
yeah,
Wayne's
yeah.
cousin.
Yeah.
To be fair, they could work for Bruce Wayne as well. Oh, but maybe it's a bit too obvious to work for Bruce Wayne. But
That's quite funny actually.
yeah, I think they'll be alright actually. They look like quite. It's got a comedian in it, isn't it?
Which one?
I think it's the only bloke on that team, isn't it?
It's got Abed from Community in it.
Yeah, that's it. Isn't he a
Yeah.
comedian?
I don't know if he's a comedian,
Oh.
I don't know, but he's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Would you kind of want the characters? Because I know in Justice League they've recast the Flash.
What?
Yeah, no. So he
As
means
in, like,
from the
the
TV
guy
series.
who's in the
Oh,
TV
I was
show
gonna
is
say,
not
okay.
Ezra Miller.
Okay.
Well, they probably
Um,
should recast it, but
But you know, in that respect, and I guess maybe with the Marvel TV shows, do you want them to cross over? Do you want the characters from these TV shows to be in the cinema,
Because-
like the films, or should they just be separate entities?
well, because I love the Flash. I think the guy who plays the Flash is spot on. They got spot on. Do you know? I'll tell you what. Actually, I wanted him to be in the movies. Don't get me wrong. I wanted him to be. I was fine that he wasn't. But what actually really annoyed me about the movie is, and it's the same. This is the same with Power Rangers. They've gone from this like what's the material they used on the Power Rangers, that like plastic
latex
material, and now they've all gone mechanical. Like
Yeah.
the
They've
whole
turned it into Transformers.
yeah, the whole
basically.
idea of it was that they had this like slim, easy to like use suit. Like, how the fuck is he gonna make a little robot suit go down or pack into a bag. I know he does it in Iron Man, but I mean, like, it's just so ridiculous.
One thing that I didn't like about the Power Rangers trailer as well, they fucked up Alpha.
Yeah,
Alpha
he's
looks
an
like
alien,
a
isn't he?
yeah.
Is he an alien?
Well, he's like an alien now, isn't he? I think.
Is he? I don't know.
Well, because he had like
Don't you think
things like that. I don't know.
Bryan Cranston's voice doesn't match Zordon
not
at all? Either.
Not at all.
I feel like it's
Not
really
at all.
out of place. It sounds really.
This is the thing, though. Are we now basing it on what we have already seen?
Probably,
Because
yeah,
if you didn't watch Power Rangers,
Yeah.
it might be a really good film.
True.
You don't know.
For the new generation, it'll be alright, but for us that watched the original series,
I haven't, so I'm gonna go watch it and say that was the best film
There
I've
you
ever
go.
seen.
You won't because you don't like superhero films.
Yeah.
So.
Might like that one.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked and amazed if you do like it.
and I don't like the look of Rita Repulsa either.
No.
Also, Elizabeth Banks, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to show some sort of respect and callbacks to the fans of all the original material,
Yeah.
right? You got to put a few Easter eggs in.
Yeah.
And we discussed with Force Awakens last week about maybe the potential issues with they've gone too overboard, but
I'd like if they bring back Tommy.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Leave me to it. You bastard. I was thinking, like they do all their bit, they beat whoever they've got to beat, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere the Green Ranger turns up, and it's Tommy, the actual original.
That'd be so
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
sick.
Or if we came even busting through as the White Ranger to help him out later on, that'd be so
that would be
sick.
sick.
is this the first Power Rangers movie?
Whatever.
No.
That's like the third. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Might be the
The
fourth. but I
first
think it's
one
the third.
was
My Morphin Power.
My
Ooze
Morphin
with
Power.
the Ooze
Doctor
guy,
Ooze, yeah.
Doctor Ooze.
So
So
that was
a great
Turbo.
film.
Turbo.
Yeah.
They were probably pretty decent as far as I remember as a kid, but I can't make.
I remember the Turbo one. The whole Turbo series just used to annoy me because you had the Blue Ranger was a little kid, Justin, and whenever he morphed, he turned into like some 6'3" giant, and he used to wind me out. I'm like, what's happening to his body whilst he's in this suit? Like all his arm and his legs must just be elongated.
Also,
like Captain America steroids.
Literally.
But also, when he took off his mask, he was still up there, wasn't he?
Yeah!
He was still well on top of his child's
How
face.
they CGI this? I was so confused. Oh, it used to wind me up.
God, childhood, man. My
Yeah.
favourite childhood show was I think it was Ed, Ed and Eddie, man.
Oh yeah,
That was a great.
With their
But
fucking
then
gobstoppers.
Do you know
That was
what?
a
That
great
used to
show.
wind me up because their jawbreakers were like
Jawbreakers, that's it.
60,000 feet wide, and I was like, where the hell do I get these?
I wasn't like that big.
Innit? I
Tiny.
never had one. I was expected to put one,
Mate.
and my mouth just changes size like it does in the TV show.
Do you remember we used to get them from school though, and if you lick them too much, they'd like make your tongue bleed
Yeah.
and shit. It's too
Oh,
bad,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
They are horrible, man.
Yeah, they're not-
I used to
they're
get, I
not
used to
nice.
get like lockjaw from them trying to fucking bite them. Do you know what I mean?
Someone said to me a while ago that he thinks that in sitcoms or like cartoon-ish sitcoms and people sitcoms, they too often portray the male figures as idiots. Do you think that's true? So like
South Park?
So like Ed and Eddie,
Yeah, to be fair.
pretty much everyone in South Park, Alan and Charlie in Two and a Half Men,
Although
the dad in Malcolm in the Middle.
Joey and Chandler and
Joey
Ross,
and
they're
Chandler.
all pretty dumb, to be honest, in a way.
exception to it is Dexter's Laboratory
True.
Although,
because he's a genius.
But the
he's
dad's
a
an
genius,
idiot.
to be fair,
and he's an idiot compared to his sister in a way, because he was always getting duped by her, isn't he?
Is
Yeah,
there,
that's true.
just to be in devil's advocate, is there a case that there are more stupid male characters because there are just more male characters? So therefore, by like,
Yeah.
and we can't really talk
Yeah.
about diversity because we're five
Males,
males.
Hey, I'm black, so
I never said white males. I said we're five males.
that's diverse. We're technically diverse.
Okay, we haven't got any female representation here.
No.
But
Well, I don't know about him, mate.
Hey, what do you mean?
so going back to it, like, yeah, there are a lot of stupid male characters, but if you sort of, added them all together and then divided them by the stupid characters, then because if there are more male characters, there can be more stupid male
But
characters.
as
That's fair.
well, with that, most of the female characters are portrayed as ditzy.
True.
Yeah,
Ditzy
like
blondes.
what's Phineas and
True.
Ferb's sister? She's always being duped
Yeah.
by
Ashley
Phineas
Tisdale.
yeah. So I guess in a way,
Or that
You know,
gingerbird out of That's So Raven. I
Oh,
forgot
Chelsea.
her name. Yeah, Chelsea. She was.
Do you know they're bringing that back?
What?
Yeah.
They're bringing it back.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
with the same cast?
Same cast, but
No.
the guy who plays Eddie, he's
Yeah.
not going to be in it because he had like he had Twitter beef with Raven.
You see-
He sucked it. He's like they're talking about how he sucked it on her titty. Oh, that was the funniest video ever. Yeah, basically.
He's gone off the
He's
rails.
gone mental. Yeah,
He's gone off the
like
rails.
he's doing some sort of drug. I don't know what it is, but
Have you seen the Twitter videos of him with the gun and like him kissing the gun and licking the gun?
no. Have you seen him climbing on top?
Jesus.
He's like climbing on top of some statue thing, and the statue just collapses underneath him, and he falls into the floor. That guy's on some sort of drug, man.
He's mental.
He's so
now.
funny.
He's
But yeah,
mental
they're
now.
recasting it. He's not in it. They're
Oh,
using
wow.
to replace someone else. And basically,
Raven going to be Raven.
she's going to be and she's going to have a daughter who's psychic as well.
Okay, it's
Oh,
Cody
that was so annoying when she would just like open one eye and the camera.
Nah,
started zooming in.
don't you dare diss That's So Raven. Man. That was part of my childhood.
That was a great show.
Innit?
Right.
That's So Raven. Liz McGuire.
Recess.
Recess.
You love
I love
TV
Recess,
shows with
mate.
positive female role models, and that is what we like to hear, OB.
This is what I was telling Chris the other day. I watch a lot of female-led TV
Yeah,
shows.
because
We were watching Hannah Montana when I was.
Of course.
Yeah, Hannah Montana
we
was
were
a
having
good
this
show.
discussion like is there more male or female like
way
leads,
more-
but
way more male.
but like we're saying good ones, but there are quite a few good
yeah.
female ones actually. It's
true.
But then I guess maybe that some sort of balance needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
like I was saying, like, do you think there's one like is males lead characters and or female lead characters more entertaining? Is there a difference or?
Depends on what job.
It depends.
Yeah.
About, I think it depends on the writing as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with
But a
that.
lot of it's
I think-
probably written by males,
I
right?
think it's hard to please
Yeah,
everyone. No,
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
true.
It is.
Yeah,
Everyone's got their own opinion on something.
yeah.
So I think quite a nice segue is into Game of Thrones about female
characters.
role
Well, yeah,
models.
she's fantastic.
First-
Sons of Star.
First
It's true,
four
to be fair. Sophie
series.
Turner's fit.
Sophie, if you ever listen to this, I love you.
Same.
Right, the first 4 series of Game of Thrones was pretty much like sexploitation, they
Yeah.
called it. You know, so many female nudity. The female characters were
Those are
basically just either sexually assaulted or they just weren't there. And then they seem to have turned the corner, and you got like Daenerys and Sansa, and even like Yara
Sorry.
Greyjoy, and who's that little girl from Bear Island?
Oh,
the little sassy one.
Lady Mormont.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Lady Mormont. Yeah.
Legend.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, she came
So
out
are you
of
saying
nowhere.
you'd like to see more male nudity then?
No. I don't.
Hey, you know,
Complaining?
some people
No.
might see a flaccid penis every now and again.
Or one that's been dismembered.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, now it's more, you know, people seem to be a bit more positive about its depiction of gender.
Yeah.
But
Do you think that was intentional, or do you
I
think
think
it's do you
so.
think it's a response to people criticising their portrayal
It's
of
a
female characters,
response.
or do you think they intended it to swing around the way it was before?
I don't
the
think they
criticism
did.
came?
I think that, and I might be wrong because I haven't read them in a while, but the books are obviously they contain a lot of sex and violence, but I think the show like exacerbated that a bit, and they were like, "Oh, let's just have boobs everywhere," and it's not a bad thing for certain people, but for
You look at me for
you
that.
alienating a lot of your viewers, right? If you don't necessarily want to see that. I mean,
That's true.
you know,
But if we think about the time frame that is set, so
It would have happened anyway, probably.
but
in an imaginary time frame.
my point is
Yeah.
that I think maybe the characters of Daenerys and Cersei and Sansa are probably a little bit more. They're stronger characters in the books.
I
and
like
then,
that.
And then
They're
because
stronger in this as well.
yeah, and now like because there was a lot of backlash to it, that maybe the producers are like, okay, well let's kind of go a little bit more closer to the source
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
So wait, were you saying they were stronger in the books and now they've made it so they're stronger in the thing?
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, that's.
I think they've always been kind of strong characters, you know, like Catelyn Tully, people like that. But I think that was sort of masked by all the excessive sex and nudity.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's got better. I think they've got better. I think it's better that they're more powerful characters. I think they're
Yeah.
more like what's the word? Confident characters as
Yeah.
well. Like
I think they even like obviously there's still a sex and nudity, but I think they use it kind of to enhance the story now,
Yeah.
or you know, it's not just gratuitous. It's kind of, you know, like when Daenerys at the end of the end of series 5 when she comes back out of the
fire.
burning fire
Yeah.
and she's naked
That's
again.
season 5, first season 6.
Oh, maybe it was season 6, but that was sort of harking back to an earlier series. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was. arguably less gratuitous.
Didn't they sign a contract though that she wasn't allowed to be naked by that
Yeah,
point? So is it actually her naked? Or
Yeah, no, it's actually her.
it's actually her naked?
But I think-
Well, it would have been silly if she just walked out and her clothes were totally fine and the building behind is burning down. You
Yeah.
know.
I think it's just that thing though was just to make a point again, wasn't it? That she could do that, so they kind of
Yeah.
had to do something on those lines, unless they've made some like. What was she coming out of? What was it on fire?
Was the hut that all the...
So unless they had the hut like angled properly
Yeah.
against where like all their private parts were, like you can't really.
Can we have a quick vote around the table? I just want to know what people think. What is everyone's favourite season of Game of Thrones so far? So,
Oh damn, mate!
6.
Don't, you can't put me on a spot right
yeah,
there.
so you're saying 6?
4 or 6? 4's a close second.
Wait, spud me. Literally exactly the same. 4 or 6. Go on, Joe.
I'm not good with the seasons, right?
Not even
There's one episode that I thought was just sick, which is where the White Walkers came into the
That's season 5.
Yeah,
season
Hard
5,
Home.
episode 8.
Yeah, because Series 5 was one that was shit up until that.
Wait, hold on. You're not talking about not what happens in that episode. You're gonna re-anger me. What episode are you talking about?
Is that the one where they go and like Jon Snow goes to find the wildlings and then...
And there's that fat long battle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe.
What, you don't like that?
Oh,
That was so sick.
That was the best episode of the whole season.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
season, that whole season was awful, I thought, anyway.
It wasn't a great season, but that was... from there, it was
What's
very
your
good.
issue with it, Chris?
oh, because that season was so bad, and then they like did that episode to like enhance the season. It was just so rubbish.
But that was another one of... Well, sorry, I'm going to swing it
No,
back,
go on,
to, swing it
just,
back
yeah.
to the spoilers and stuff. That was another episode where people... it's not even spoilers, but people saying, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And they won't say anything, but they'll just say this. Even in our WhatsApp chat, people
Yeah.
who have seen it, and I'm at work, so I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my God, what an ending. Why would you say that? Because now I'm expecting something to happen.
It was just like that episode. Like, admittedly, it was the best of that series.
Yeah.
But like there was so many things in it. I'm not even gonna go into it right now. But
You
there's
can't-
so many things in it that I was just like,
Like what, though? Go into it. Go on.
what's that bag of glass? That
the dragon
glass.
glass.
What? He just left it.
He dropped it, didn't he?
He dropped it and didn't go back for it. He could have gone back for
He
it.
could have died.
Yeah.
Well, loads of people died, but you know.
No, you can't.
No,
you can't be like
no. There was a point in it where I thought, oh, he dropped it. I can't remember. He had a fight with someone, didn't he? A sword fight with someone.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of people.
And he could have died,
Yeah.
but like in that specific scene where he dropped it, I'm sure he could have picked it up at some point.
Mm.
And didn't the big
Maybe.
like mountain troll guy get shot down and die or something?
Mountain Troll guy.
The giant.
The giant.
No, he died
was
season
in,
six.
He was in season,
Battle
he
of
dies
Bastards.
right at the end of Battle
Yeah.
of Bastards.
Rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is total horseshit, by the way. For that battle, to have a giant go in totally unarmed, what's that about?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
If you got someone 10 foot tall, you give him a tree.
Give him a tree! Thank you! That's
No,
exactly
it's
what I'm
true, to be fair,
saying.
it's
Give him a
true.
tree and he can knock out about 3,000 people at a time.
He just needs to body slam them.
That wound me
This
up.
is it. They didn't think about it. Like that's like another thing that like annoys me about them kind of episodes where you get these big creatures and they're just literally
Yeah.
being oafs
Yeah.
and just running through. Or, not even running. They're like walking.
He could have reached down and picked up Rick on that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man. Wait, Ollie. Say your favourite seasons, and then I'm going to circle back to Rickon. But Ollie, go on, say your favourite seasons.
I think it's got to be 4 as well,
Yeah.
with Joffrey.
Joffrey,
yeah.
Tyrion, all
I
that.
agree.
Yeah. Alright, so can I just swing back
I
to
didn't know
Rickon?
Chris hasn't said his
Oh
yet.
shit, sorry Chris, you went...
Season 4 was the Joffrey one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I say the same as you.
Yeah.
4 and
He's a
then
likeable
6 was
bad
close.
character.
He was. It was
Yeah,
essentially so our favourite seasons are the ones where most people die. Like most main characters.
It's because it's the characters you want to die, but you
Yeah.
don't really want them to die
What?
because.
Joffrey's death was so lame.
It wasn't a great
It was kind
He
of...
was
How
such an
did you
evil
want him to
character.
die?
I wanted him to be chopped into a million pieces by Ned Stark's ghost or something.
I
Ned Stark's
I
ghost.
wish.
Like all he did
Mate.
was choke. You know.
Yeah.
Like Eminem choked in 8 Mile, but he didn't die.
Deep cut. But can I come back to
Yeah,
Rickon,
go,
please?
go.
Right. I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
Don't, man.
No. Game of Thrones, they swindled they swindled me with that Rickon scene.
Actually.
Because when he's running towards Jon Snow, yeah, and they show Ramsay Bolton firing the arrows, right? So he fires one arrow, misses.
Oh, come
Fires another arrow, misses. Fires a third arrow, misses. And Rickon's like running, and he's almost made it. And then the arrow just goes through his heart or whatever, and he's down the floor. And I was heartbroken. And do you know why? Because I didn't see it coming. He just started running. They didn't show him shooting the fourth arrow.
One thing that I disliked about that was
he didn't zigzag.
Rickon is a dumbass.
He didn't zigzag.
There was no zigzagging.
But as much as I agree with you, you think, yeah, you got a zigzag. You're in a mass panic. This is a mental guy who just let you go. You're off. You want to get home as soon as possible.
That he was missing on purpose.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
He was teasing, wasn't he?
He was, but if
I didn't even think about that. Damn it, Ollie. Now you made me more upset.
If Rickon was zigzagging, it could have ended differently.
Nah, I don't know though, because this guy, he was a pretty good shooter in all the other seasons. I reckon he would have got him regardless.
It annoyed me that Rickon had disappeared for like 2 series.
Yeah.
And then he comes back for like 1 episode, and then they chop his direwolf's head off and then kill him. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I really wanted to know, because they've surpassed the books now. And obviously I read all the books before, which is a series. So I want to know, like, is George R.R. Martin, the author, has he written that and told them, or is it going to be really different, or is he now writing based on what they're doing in the show?
He said that, from what I've read, he's told them what the ending should be,
and they can
and he's there, giving them some direction.
Right.
So the books, I don't know. God knows if he's going to write the books before he dies.
So he's basically given them limited creative.
He's given them some info. He's given them the end.
Because it's been about 7 years.
To be fair, they don't even have to do his ending.
Yeah. As someone who's a key
Well,
reader.
Yeah, I would have loved him to have released the books before the series, because now you never know. In my mind, it's like he had a direction for this novel series, and then obviously the show has become a global phenomenon. Are now the showrunners, are they saying to him, "Oh, we're killing off Rickon, we're killing off Tommen," and then is he like, "Okay, I'm going to incorporate it"?
Yeah,
I never know.
I don't think they can do that.
Is he writing Sansa's character with Sophie Turner in mind? Is he writing Arya with Maisie Williams in mind? That might have influenced his writing.
The thing is, when they were casting everyone, didn't he sit there with them?
I was going to say, didn't he sit with them?
And he gave the go-ahead on people that he thought, they
maybe,
are.
But if it's tough to sort of.
And as well, you've got to think
he's stay true to whatever his original.
He will have all the copyright stuff on that, because that is his, isn't it? So he'll have the copyrighted stuff.
He hasn't written them yet.'s got an idea for where books 6 and 7 are going to go. But it's taken him so bloody long to write.
Yeah, but
when you have the copyright of the Game of Thrones name?
Well, no, because his series is called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, it's not.
The first book is called A Game of Thrones.
Oh,
have you read the books?
Okay.
No, you've not read the books.
No.
Oh.
Can I ask another question? Another question. I'm going to go on the table again. So if you guys could ask George R. Martin one question, one Game of Thrones based question, and he has to tell you the truth, what would it be? Go on, Joe.
No, come to me last. I need to think about this.
God, you really put us on the spot.
This is thought provoking. Go on.
Yeah,
please.
no, it's true.
Why did you kill off Ned Stark?
Oh, Chris, I love you. Oh,
No, because
you're my spirit child, Chris. That's literally exactly what I was about
that's
to
the
say.
inciting incident for the entire rest of the series.
But like,
sure be.
just deep down, you want that scene to be fake. You want to think that didn't really happen. He's gonna come back. He's gonna kick the shit out of him because he's sick.
Do you know what the biggest disappointment of season 6 was for me? When I was told that Ned Stark was coming back in season 6, and it was that knockoff. It was that knockoff Northern bastard, that young Ned Stark. I wanted to see Sean Bean grace that show once more. I was distraught, man. I'm not going to watch Game of Thrones anymore.
What I would ask him is who he thinks Jon Snow's mum is.
What do you mean he knows?
Is it not obvious?
Oh, that's why we're asking him the question. Didn't you say we had to? If we had one question to ask him?
I don't think we hear what she says. But you know it's
What?
that's
I can't remember that.
The way they edited the baby. They edited the baby's face into Jon Snow's face.
Oh yeah.
I would ask.
I'd be shocked if that's not Jon Snow.
Well, you never know with him, mate. He's got twists and turns all over the shop, isn't he? So
go on. Sorry, Chris. Go on.
I would ask him which character he identifies with most. If any of the characters are, he's writing him into it.
I was thinking of
I'm gonna
crap. What's his name? The king before.
The
king, the first
Rob.
king.
John Arryn.
No.
Rob.
Was it?
Rob. Sorry.
Robert Baratheon.
Robert
Thank
Baratheon.
you. Sorry, that's who I was thinking of. Go on, Ollie. What's your?
That was going to be my question. What happens to him?
What happens to Robert Baratheon?
Yeah.
He dies.
But you don't see it.
Yeah, you see his body.
When?
In
Oh,
he gets
no.
killed by the boar.
Oh no! I'm thinking
But
of
John
the wrong
Arryn,
person.
do you
I'm
mean?
thinking of the wrong person.
I know who you're thinking of. The guy that starts rowing away.
Gendry.
No.
Oh.
That's what I'd ask him. Where the fuck is he?
No, when the I can't remember his name.
Who's that?
He storms
Skins
Winterfell.
guy.
He storms Winterfell.
Skins
Skins.
guy.
Skins.
Stannis.
The guy-
Stannis.
Oh,
Yes.
Because
Stannis.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
rows away,
he might
Oh, fuck
be-
Stannis.
and he's the bastard child apparently, and apparently he's still rowing.
What was your question? What was the one you'd ask?
What happened to Stannis? Because
Who cares?
I've heard that if you don't see a character die, that they're not dead.
Yeah.
That they're still alive,
Yeah.
and you
Fuck
don't
Stannis.
see it.
Yeah.
At the end.
Well, their argument was, we didn't want to show his beheading because it's too gratuitous. I was like,
Fuck off.
Have you seen your show?
But that's the thing. Like, I don't think in the books he's dead yet. I mean, I assume he would be.
But they've gone
I hope
past,
so.
but like you said, they've gone past books now, haven't they?
Or yeah.
What would be your question?
You already said.
What was it?
His question.
Who would he identify
Who would he
with
identify
most?
Ah,
Sam.
Samuel Tarly. Jesus Christ. Where do we think the
Fat
show's
one.
going to go then? How's series 7 and 8
Fat one
going to
in the black
pan
one.
out?
I think Cersei is gonna go basically batshit crazy because she's lost everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Literally, she's lost everything.
has she lost everything though? Because it seems to me that she's got everything she wants now.
All her children are dead. That's at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's all she cared about. Really.
Yeah.
She looked like
Yeah,
she was
children.
bossing it on that
She looked
throne,
like she was
mate.
about to snap. So her mum was about to snap.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna go mental,
dunno.
and I think James gonna be like, might have to kill her.
Yeah, but she's got the beast with her,
She-
mate.
yeah.
Or whatever
She's
it's
the
called.
reincarnation of the Mad King. So she's probably
Or
just
is
gonna...
Daenerys the reincarnation of the Mad
Mad
King?
King. Boom.
Ooh.
Well,
Questions.
she's the descendant of the Mad King.
See, I think she's going to go mad. I think it's too obvious that she's going to sit on the throne.
See-
And I think there's going to be some twist that's going to...
I think Cersei's is going to be sick with the power, and then people are going to be like, "You have got too much power." Jamie's going to be like,
I think Jamie's going to
and
kill
then I
her.
think
James
Daenerys
gonna
is
kill
going to have
her. I think
loads of
it's fair.
power.
I think
Daenerys
James
is
is
going to
gonna
come
get
into
out
power.
Mm.
Jon Snow's going to work Daenerys and be like, "You can have the power, I don't want it," and then something's going to happen, and then probably that other guy comes back from the boat. He's like, "I'm the rightful king, so I'll sit on the
Yeah.
throne here, mate."
How do we think Jon Snow's gonna find? Well, let's work on the assumption that Jon Snow is Targaryen, which I think he is, and I'm pretty sure we all think he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we think he's gonna find out that he's? Like, how do you think that's gonna?
He's probably going to find what's his name who can see through animals.
Bran.
Yeah, Bran's probably going to find and be like, "Oh my god, I just saw your mum give birth to you."
I hope Bran dies, man. He's so boring.
Or somehow
He's going
him
to
and
command the dragon.
Daenerys. Yeah, him and Daenerys cross paths,
Ooh.
and
like
one of the
it.
dragons
He's
is
gonna
just
come
gonna
Isn't there a theory?
magnetise to.
Isn't there a theory though that there's 3 of them?
Yeah, and,
And
the
is
other
it-
one's Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Supposedly.
Yes, because
yeah.
he's in the thing with them, isn't he? He's in the cave with them.
Yeah.
Do we see what happens with him in the cave with them?
He's able to feed him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh, this could be good. Do you know what annoys me though? They've cut the series short, but
Yeah.
they might have extended it. I heard.
Well, so the first 6 series were 13 episodes,
Mhm.
and then the 7th is going to be 8 episodes, and the
13 and then 10.
Yeah, there's only
10.
oh, is it 10?
10, 10,
Sorry,
10.
my bad. Yeah. So the first 6 is because there's 13 episodes left. That's where I'm getting confused.
Mm.
So the first 6 are 10 episodes, and then series 7 is 8 episodes, and series 8 is 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Or is it 7 and
That's
6?
15
I
left.
think 7 and 6. Series
Right,
7 is going
but
to be
I heard-
7.
I heard-
Series 8 is going to be
That's
6.
fine.
Oh, okay.
Series 1 to 6 is 10 episodes. Series 7 is 7 episodes, and then series 8 is 6.
Mm.
So they've got 13
Right.
episodes left.
Mm.
But I think what their argument is, I think Maisie Williams said it, is that they've got something like 15 hours of footage remaining. So I think each episode is going to be longer than the
Ah.
previous ones have
But
been.
I heard somewhere that they might be extending one of the series because they've got more stuff
Yeah,
to tell.
I
Because
mean-
there's so many dead ends, like loose ends.
13
even.
episodes does not
It's just
sound
gonna
like
be-
enough.
They're going to do
Breakneck
sequels.
Yeah.
sequels.
I hope they do spin-off
Or
and
spin-off
prequel
sequel,
and sequel.
But then
and
it goes
cycle
back to your
series.
original point. It goes back to your original point.
Will
Are
it
they as
ruin
good?
it?
Will it
Will
ruin
it ruin it? I don't know.
Will there be what's the word where there's points in it which don't connect properly,
Continuity.
like continuity errors. That's the one. Yeah.
Well, for me, I wouldn't want them to necessarily continue with Jon Snow's storyline or whatever directly, but because it's such a rich universe, and I guess maybe you Lord of the Rings fans, you'd maybe like to see elements of what happens before or after.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd want to see what happens because he references so much, like the the battles when the Mad King. So I'd want to see a series when the Mad King is like actually there. And you see
I think if they do a spin-off, it'll have to be a prequel.
Yeah,
They can't. I don't think they'd be able to do side.
I mean, they'd need none of these characters. None of these characters
exactly.
need to be in it. Bar Ned
a
Stark.
couple. Ed Stark, Rob Baratheon.
but then that's immediately preceding the series, whereas the Mad King I think was
A
you
few
know, when they were
generations
younger.
before, yeah.
And you also got like.
Oh no, they'd still need those characters, just not the actors.
Yeah. And even if they did eventually a sequel series when, you know, all the characters would be older, so you could probably recast them again.
Yeah.
So I would personally like to stay within that, you know, universe.
Yeah.
But I think, and I know it might not be as good, but I think maybe it wouldn't ruin my opinion of Game of Thrones.
I know what you mean, but they'd have to do a prequel, I think.
In the same way that Better Call Saul doesn't necessarily ruin your impact of Breaking Bad.
No, it's true.
What do you think? Where do you want the season to go? Anything in particular?
What, the ending?
Yeah.
Or?
Anybody want to die? Anyone you want to live?
Well, I heard that the throne is going to be melted down, and they're going to have a big old fight with the White Walkers. So there might not even be a throne.
Yeah, I think it was forged with dragonfire.
Interesting.
So that is a suggestion.
Don't know if I should have closed my ears for that point,
Then
actually.
there's not going to be a throne. So, you know.
What's there to fight for? Yeah.
Absolutely
I
not.
like that. Nice
I
one,
like
mate.
that. That's not bad.
I reckon
Interesting.
when this show eventually comes out, which is April,
Yeah.
they
pushed it back.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh,
To make it, because winter is coming, so they want to push it back further towards winter.
Bastards.
Well, I think on this podcast we should
push
do
it
a.
back towards the summer. Nice one.
Sorry, carry on.
Nice one.
Finding flaws in the logic. It was
Yeah.
because there wasn't enough snow in Northern Ireland where they film it, so that's why they got delayed because winter hadn't come. That was the irony of it. But I think on this podcast, when it does eventually come out, whenever that is, we should do
Weekly review.
of it. So we all need to fucking watch it.
So I'm sure we'll be up to date with that.
Yeah.
By Sundays, we'll be well far behind, won't we? Was it come out on a Monday?
Yeah.
It comes out in America on a Sunday, so we'll be a week behind everyone else doing it, so
Stream it. Fuck it.
we'll still be behind everyone else.
Talking of shows that have been pushed back, you mentioned it to me earlier, Opes, off air. House of Cards, man. I think they've missed a trick.
I think that as well.
Like, you got the presidential election in November 2016.
Yeah.
Your fucking fourth series or third series ended in February 2016. Just rush out the next one, man, and release it on November because it's current events. Why am I going to watch it in May when you know we've already got that?
Because Trump would have fucked up the world by then. So they're going to escape from
But
this
they've already filmed. They're already filming it and writing
true.
it, so they're not going to be able to reference properly.
But do you want them to rush a series in it to be shit? That's the big point.
How did it end? Can I?
Okay, so basically, I think. Basically, Frank and Claire, that's the president and the first lady, have concocted a way to start a war, and basically their thinking is here. This is why my interpretation of what they're doing. So, after 9/11, George Bush got pretty much free reign to do whatever he wanted to do with overseas stuff because people were like, we've been attacked, we need to be protected, yada 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 yada. And his approval ratings went through the roof. In House of Cards, Frank Underwood's approval ratings are really, really shit, and he's not doing well in the elections. So my thinking behind it is they want to start a war so they can end a war, and then their approval ratings go whoosh through the roof, and they win it just before an election. So they're thinking these guys saved us from this threat. Let's vote for them, keep them in. Blah 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 blah.
Aren't they also trying to make her, the first lady, the vice president?
Yeah, that's what she wanted, I think.
Yeah, they're trying to make her.
Because he got shot,
Yeah.
didn't he? And he's still pretty weak.
Can I just say, I hope Donald Trump doesn't watch the House of Cards because he can get some messed up pundits from there.
I think he's got his own mess up.
Yeah, but
I think they can learn things from him.
Yeah,
Maybe
true.
Kevin Spacey will push him in front of a tube train.
I think it will get a...
That was the oh shit moment of House of Cards.
Oh shit.
That was an oh shit, sick moment.
That was ridiculous, man.
I did not see that coming at all.
God, leave it at that.
Zoe! Is that a name?
What an angle to get it at as well. Didn't even get on camera.
We're being pretty vague. Should we describe what we're talking about?
Nah.
So was it episode 2 or 3 of series 1 House of Cards?
Series 2.
No, but in series
Oh,
1.
sorry, go on.
For any of you who haven't seen House of Cards, and we've now ruined it for you, Frank Underwood is the the chief whip of the Senate.
Yep.
And he, I don't know.
He gets people to vote for his side, basically.
Yes.
Through negotiation and tactics, some sort of political
And
tactics.
through scheming, he
Yeah,
works his way up the
lying.
ranks
And lying.
into becoming. Was it? I think the series 1 he's vice president or.
In series 2, I think he's vice president.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, throughout series 1, there's been a journalist, Zoe, I think
Zoe
her name
Martins.
is, played by Kate Mara, and she basically entraps him, doesn't she? She's got photos of them being intimate, and she
They
tries
start
to
fucking, yeah.
she tries to blackmail him, and then you think series 2 is going to be about her basically extorting him or
Yeah.
something, and then like a couple of episodes in,
They nip
they're
at
in,
the bud.
they're in the fucking subway, and he pushes her in front of a train, and you're like, oh my god, I did not see
I
that
rewinded
coming
that
at
literally
all.
3 times.
Do you know what? Talking about House of Cards, actually, it's kind of on the point, but off the point. The guy who is adamant that he's done something to her, her mate. 2 things I didn't get. One thing about that I did get it, but I didn't really see. They didn't need to put it in. Was when he did something for the government, then got let out of prison, and then was able to shoot.
Yeah.
That I just thought was stupid.
I thought that was kind of silly.
I mean, I get why, and then like he had to give someone a blowjob or whatever. It's just like weird. Like, what the fuck? Why if he's such a why if he's a man of such high interest to Frank, would he leave him unsupervised or let them use him as a tactic to get information? I don't know. Like, I would have just put him away somewhere, never let him out, just being like, you're a criminal. But there was a threesome in there, wasn't there?
Yeah. Meacham.
Meacham,
Oh,
man.
Meacham.
R.I.P.
He was so loyal. Oh, God.
Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, mate.
Bloody Meacham. Do you know what? From life, yeah. If I
I'm just getting
Where's
deep.
this going?
in life, yeah, in life. If I'm ever lucky enough to get married, I would like a wife who is as loyal to me as Doug is to Frank Underwood.
Oh,
Doug
my
is the most loyal person I have ever seen depicted on any. He would literally, if Frank was like, Doug, I'm feeling a bit, knackered. Would you wank me off for a little bit? He would do it, and he wouldn't even ask questions. That guy is so insanely loyal. If he's like, yeah, go and kill this person, don't kill
That is
person.
loyalty to you.
That's what you want from a wife?
Well, yeah.
But no, but like, it isn't, like, what did Frank do for him to be so loyal?
Because he was a mess basically before they met.
Yeah, but still, that's a bit of a...
He basically saved his life.
It's like a surrogate father-son
Yeah.
relationship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also,
Strange.
what did Doug do to that girl? Did he kill her
He
again?
killed her.
Yeah, and he buried her.
That was a shame.
What, that prostitute woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Good
want
Lord, politics.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Mental.
not like that in
that's
real
the
life.
thing. Like, it makes politics so interesting.
It really does. Do you think there's obviously so Frank Underwood has killed 2 people that we know of so far.
Who?
Peter.
Russo.
Yep. The
Oh,
senator.
shit, yeah.
And Zoe.
And Zoe.
Oh, yeah, Karen.
Do you think that sort of stuff actually goes on in real life? Or do you think they don't?
Interesting.
I think not directly.
Yeah, it may be bullshit, but I saw somewhere online, I can't remember where it was, that House of Cards is loosely based on the Clintons.
Interesting. Imagine.
That has got to be seriously loose.
Like,
So,
I don't
is
know how
Zoe's
true it
character Monica Lewinsky then? Is that the one that he had an affair with?
Yeah.
Did she
Oh,
die?
Shit.
No,
No,
she
I don't
loves
think
it.
so.
Oh, well.
Curiously, sorry, Joe, cut you off.
Go on.
You
My
know
point
the
was basically finished anyway.
O.J. Simpson, the TV show they made based on
That was
Oh, yeah.
that was sick.
which was very good.
Good shout there. Good shout.
They are making one about Bill Clinton and that whole Monica Lewinsky scandal,
Oh, really?
but they think they're doing the one about Hurricane Katrina first, and then they're doing one about some
Katrina. How,
yeah.
What are they going to do?
I don't know all the controversy that happened over that, and then
It was the Illuminati.
another one about some gangster brothers who murdered people, and then after that they're going to do one about the
That'd be well
the
good,
Clintons.
I
And
think
They should do one about Rodney King,
yeah, I would love to know more.
because
About
that sparked hella
Loads of
riots.
riots,
I've got 2 things actually. The other point I had about House of Cards. Why did that guy go sick at Frank?
Which guy?
The guy who has the food place that Frank.
Oh, Freddie.
He
Because
just
he treated him like shit.
Yeah, no, but in
Yeah.
that episode, he was trying to be.
He was.
I suppose he was trying to be nice, but
He didn't want to.
backlash of everything.
He didn't want to
yeah.
take the pity.
And then the other point was, just can't remember. Don't know. It was something to do with the point you made about O.J. Simpson.
Fair enough.
It was something to do with the World Banks. I don't know. I'll probably cut this out.
But yeah, House of Cards is great. Season 3 was shit. Season 4 was a lot better. Season 1 and 2 were brilliant. Hopefully, season
First
5 is
episode
good.
takes ages to get
It
through.
really does.
It does.
I much preferred it watching Frank Underwood scheme to get to where he was, rather than watching him be at the top and try not to get dragged down. It was much funner watching him.
Although, was it you that I was having a discussion with about the fact that it's called House of Cards? Each series has 13 episodes, which is a deck of cards. And then first 4 series is them figuratively building up their House of Cards. And then they've used all 4 suits. And then episode 5 is going to be that House of Cards tumbling down.
Possibly.
But then I don't know where that's going to end. Because you either end it with him being president, or if he doesn't become president, he has to die.
I think he's going to die. Or go to prison. But if he goes to prison, he'll get out. So I think he's got to die.
Is it a hard TV show to follow because it's US politics?
I find it quite difficult to understand.
Yeah, sometimes I have to rewatch parts to
you
know
have
it.
to pay very close. You can't. It's not a TV show you can have on in the background. You have to pay very close attention.
I usually ask him a lot of questions about it because you're quite political. So.
Well, you did study politics at A-level.
Yeah, you think I would
and
learn
uni.
something. And uni, yeah.
And uni. So, yeah. And you've been to Washington, so therefore you're more qualified than all of us to talk about
I'm
it.
more qualified than Donald Trump to be president.
Period. And I'd just like to shout out to the 1 billion listeners we have.
Yeah.
What about that? Have you seen that Donald Trump site where you can swing his head around?
TrumpDonald.org. That is so funny.
TrumpDonald.org.
I spent far too long doing that.
But actually, coming right back round to a very early point you made, asking questions about whether I want to see a TV series person in a movie.
Yes.
I do.
Do you want to elaborate?
And on that bombshell.
No, but like, just coming back to that point.
Always tangents.
Yeah, but I would really love to have seen the guy in the Flash TV series be in the movie. I think he would have made a perfect character for it. I don't personally think Enza fits the is that his name? Ezra fits the bill. But then saying that, I don't think the guy who was in Game of Thrones who's playing Aquaman really fits the bill. But I think they might make the character his own.
Yeah.
Did you not like Ezra Miller in Fantastic Beasts?
But he was a creepy guy.
Yeah.
And you feel like Barry Allen should be a quite welcoming person, someone who you could
Bit
talk
geek.
to. Yeah, essentially. And I don't know, he kind of fits the bill, but
I mean, in the trailer, he sort of got across that geeky...
I know, but like for me, because I've watched the series, I wanted it to be him, and because I mean, Arrow's not going to really be in it because he's not really. He is in the Justice League, but he's not a main.
Didn't you
character.
think that way about Smallville, the guy that plays Superman?
Well, I think he should have been Superman, but well, you watch 11. Is it 10 series?
10 series.
10 series of this guy growing from a teenager to a man to never have worn the Superman suit in the TV series.
Did he never wear it?
I think the last episode you see it, but you don't actually.
That's
I can't
the
remember
thing,
you see it
right?
on him.
So these TV shows, they have basically done the origin story.
Yeah.
So you might as well continue.
Exhausted the origin story.
You might as well continue that in the
Yeah.
film because I guess Ezra Miller's character isn't going to have an origin story.
Well, they're going to do the whole Flash film, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Which
if
is
that takes
essentially-
place, that's going to be released after
Justice League.
After Justice League.
Yeah.
I think the guy spoke to. I think the guy who's doing it. I don't know who it is. Spoke to Kevin Smith. If any of you know who he is.
Yeah, the one who did Clerks.
Yeah,
Clerks.
Clerks. And said that basically he said the storyline what the Flash movie's going to be, and it was exactly the same as the origin story, which is going to be of the Flash TV series. Like there was
Well, of
nothing
course.
different.
They've
I mean,
just
the
wasted
origin,
time and
the
money.
origin
Yeah.
story is the origin story from
But
most
it's like I said
superheroes.
last week. They should do it like they did it in Batman versus Superman.
But not everybody knows the origin story of the Flash.
True,
No.
but they could do a quick snippet. They could be like, "Oh,
Well, I
my
mean-
mum died, and this is how
They
she
could
died."
do it
I
in
don't
the
think
opening credits, like in
flashback.
West Philadelphia, born and
No,
raised,
I don't-
on
I-
the playground where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing all cool and shooting
I
some
don't
people.
think it's that
That's cool.
simple for the Flash though.
Maybe
Because
not.
with Batman, generally everyone knows the origin story of Batman. Flash is a more
Like
minute,
and Spider-Man.
yeah, and Spider-Man
But
and Superman.
It all depends on in the Flash film. It all depends on who the villain is, I guess. Because if the villain is Reverse Flash,
which it probably will.
which
be.
it probably will be, then alright, fair enough. Because spoiler, Reverse Flash is the cause of death for Barry's
Could be
mum.
Captain Boomerang.
Maybe, but
Could be Captain Cold.
could be.
Boom.
Well, he's not in it, is he? We have to create the whole Captain Cold character.
Could be Captain Morgan
But
and his rum.
yeah. But
Could
There
be
you
Wes
go.
Morgan.
yeah,
Oi, shut up.
Could be Morgan Freeman.
Could be.
I mean it could be actually.
That'd be decent.
There you go.
Could be Django Freeman. Anyway.
A lot of Freeman.
Great film, by the way.
Very good film.
Alright, that brings us to the end of episode 2 of Your Average Critics. I hope you've enjoyed our ramblings about TV. Next week, we're hoping to talk about a few Oscar contenders.
And Riverdale.
And
Yes,
Riverdale.
and Riverdale.
So we're all going to try and watch Hacksaw Ridge.
Yep.
Even I know this is an Oscar contender, but T2 Trainspotting, and I'm really looking forward to watching Lego Batman because that's going to be awesome and definitely be a hell of a lot better than that pile of shite that Batman versus Superman was. So thank you to the 1 billion listeners period that listened, and tune in next week.
Etc.